All right, we are live. I feel good because I'm alive after a long night of flying. But anyway, I'm Brent Leary. It is Friday afternoon here, noon Eastern in Atlanta. Beautiful day, sunny skies, in the 60s. March is just the greatest month for various reasons. But anyway, we are here because it's small biz breakdown time. And believe me, folks, it almost had to be small biz break up time before we even got the show started. Maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we won't. But what we will do right now is introduce the crew as usual. Leland from Oregon. Hey, Leland from Oregon.
How's it going? It's good here. It's good in Oregon. The sun has come out finally, and spring has sprung, and now the bugs are coming out. And that's not good. That's
You were
not good.
doing good up until the bug part there.
I had to chase out a wasp yesterday. It was nasty.
Yeah. Well, spring is about to come upon us. What do we still got a couple of weeks of winter left, I guess, but I'm looking forward to it. You know what else I'm looking forward to? Seeing Madam Mic Drop from Medina. Ooh, that's becoming a tongue twister. But she is even a Taylor. Even a
Hi, gang. Great to see you from sunny Cleveland, Ohio, Medina. It's beautiful. It's lovely.
wasn't it like a snow palace last week because you were getting ready to do something? Or
That was a couple weeks ago. We had our ice festival and that is one thing I'm just so proud of. All the folks here in Medina, the small businesses get together. So there's ice artists come in from all over and they create beautiful ice sculptures. Then we went and had drinks at the ice bar where, they flow the liquor through the ice bar and into your little glass. There's a fire. It's awesome.
man, you're
Winter
making this
wonderland.
sound way too good.
It
Almost
is
want to
good.
go back to winter. No, not quite want to go back to winter.
No,
I
we're not going back.
We're not going back. We're going forward. We're going forward with going to New Jersey now. I don't know what the capital this time he's going to say, but usually he has something that New Jersey is the capital of. So let's ask him. Ramon, what's the capital today for? Wow, what did I just do? What's the capital today for New Jersey?
Yeah, as I've said before many times, Brent, and as you know so well, New Jersey is the vacation capital of the world, vacationcapitalnj.com. You look at any of the indexes, any of the luxury travels, any of the top destinations, Milan today, Dubai travel, they all know New Jersey is the vacation capital of the world. We have Wawa, we got 7-Eleven, we got Denny's, we got IHOP, we got, even by my house, we got 2 malls down the road, we got Crumbs. So that's what it is. Medina isn't got nothing on us. We got like what
You
we
know
got.
what you got? You know
What
what
we
you
have?
got in New
Tell me.
Jersey that is absolutely awesome?
What's that?
Right around, I believe whether it's around Cape May or something like that, there is a beautiful zoo that we had the pleasure of visiting. There were giraffes and turtles and just, it's a wonderful zoo.
We also have diners.
Yeah, they have a lot of
Yes.
diners. I love the diners there.
Yeah.
I love the menus because the menus are like these big pages. And there's lots of them, so.
Yes.
All right, moving along. Last and certainly least, he is this month's AARP Man of the Year, or the month at least. He is the cold one. He is the bold one. He is John Colorice Laws.
All right, back to what I was saying before we started the show.
We had a bit of a kerfuffle.
Oh, no.
Is that what we could call it? A kerfluffle? Is that? I don't even know how to say it.
Spirited discussion.
Spirited disgusting, a disgusting discussion. Anyway, before we get into it, let's say hello to Leroy McKenzie. It's his first time here from the
Nice.
Bahamas.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Welcome, Leroy.
Reaching the
We want to
Take
be
some of that
there. Leroy, what's it like today? Tell us in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
We
that's-
want to know.
I think I've been to the Bahamas once, and it was
I've
Yeah,
never
me
been.
too.
it,
And Brent, do you think we could do, I don't know if it's possible, Brent, but if Leroy hooked it up and like the numbers worked, could we do the small business breakdown from the Bahamas? Would that be okay with you, Brent?
we got to ask Leroy about that.
No, I'm saying if he hooked it up. That's what I'm saying. He hooked it up and did it. Could we bring the
that
show
would,
there?
That would be, yeah. We need to do like an on location at some point.
Yeah.
And Bahamas would be really a nice location. Anyway, in the meantime, we could plan that on a future show or not. But in the meantime, I like to start with a little, I don't know if it's trivia or trivial or something anyway.
It's trivial.
My buddy. All right. So I got something. Actually, our buddy Shashi, who is not able to make it today, he did send me over something, a little potential question. I'm going to say it's got a lot of potential. A study done by Pew Research asked a group of employed adults in the United States, different kind of getting their take on AI. All right, so what percentage? And this is like I said, I don't have a whole lot of information on background. It says it's based on all employed adults, including 17% who have not heard about AI. Wow, used or they don't use it in the workplace, and we're not asked this question. All right, I don't know what that all means, but what percentage of employed adults in the U.S. are hopeful when it comes to using AI in the workplace?
The question is kind of interesting. Are hopeful.
Hopeful.
Yeah, hopeful.
I'm gonna go like 22%. That's my number.
I'd say 60. 60.
60. Okay, so we got 22%. We got 60.
Yeah.
See, Eva likes to lay back and let you all do the guessing, and then she'll come up with a number.
Yeah, doesn't she always do that, Brent? I realize it. That's that. Yeah, we've been on the show for a while, and she does that. Yeah.
Sometimes I listen.
Sometimes. Leland looks like he's ready to do
I'll go 35.
So we got 22, 35, 60. Evena.
I'm going to stick with my 42.
See? Yep. Yep. I went 20. John went 60. I mean, I went 60. John went 20 something, and Evena came in at 42. Yeah.
Leland, what was yours again?
35.
The actual answer was 36.
Ooh.
Leland is
You get $100 for that if you come that close.
he gets a nice attaboy and a little hand clap. All right, so that was 36% said they were hopeful. How many said, what percentage said they were excited?
So 36
60.
hopeful.
And believe me, it's one of those select all that apply. So you can be hopeful and excited. So I just
So there's a little overlap.
yeah. So excited.
60.
I'm going to grab
interesting.
42 before even grab
Yeah,
it.
there you go. There you go.
And I'm actually going to go with like 23.
Oh man.
Really?
Did I take yours?
And I'm gonna go 24.
What is it? The
Okay.
Price is Right all of a sudden? Where's Bob Barker when you need? All right, but 24. It was 29%. So using the Price is Right, he beats you.
But can you tell me, Brent, and a team here, why are the numbers lower? I thought people would be excited and people were using it. I thought it'd be higher. What am I missing? Seriously, maybe I misunderstood the question.
No,
or what do y'all think?
You live in the bubble. That's why you.
I see. Okay. So you're saying for the average employee, they are not happy with it and they are worried about it.
I'm just
They're
saying,
hopeful, but I can see them being hopeful about it, right? So you could be, but excited, that's like a little early adopter-ish
I
to
see.
me.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
All right. Well, what percentage say they are overwhelmed?
By the AI?
15%. 15%.
Is this by the AI or just in general?
No, this is all about AI in the workplace.
So I'm gonna say 65%.
Oh boy,
I
you just
think it's
wanted
a
to go
high
opposite
number.
me.
I think
I-
that's a high number. Everybody I
think-
talk to feels that.
I think it's a high number.
Oh, overwhelmed. Yes, it's high. Yes, I'm sorry. I misquoted.
Can I stay with 42? I like 42.
Go for it.
Or is someone
I'll go
gonna-
35. I'll go
I'm
35.
going to join John in the 60 realm.
So you got 35, 42, and both of y'all the 60s. Leland is living good today, folks.
Oh wow.
33%, which is a
Yeah.
surprising number when you think about some of the other numbers.
So a third, a third, a third.
All right, now here's the last one. How many are worried?
33%.
I'm not going to even guess.
You're demoralized already. We're only 5 minutes.
I'll
into the
say
show.
28. I'll say
28.
28.
28. Leland?
Oh man, I'll do 25.
and Ramon is.
I'm not
protesting.
going to guess. I'm just too.
Damn.
I'm so
You have
depressed.
to guess. You guys made me guess the last time.
That
You
is
have-
true.
Blasted.
That is true, Ramon. We did
Okay,
make
can
it.
you Brent, repeat the question, please? I'm sorry.
What percentage of employed adults in the U.S. would be worried about using AI in the workplace?
52.
Mm,
I think he looked it up because it is literally 52%.
wow.
See, Ramon. See how that works?
job.
52%.
You almost missed out on your blessing.
That's right.
That is.
Thank you,
yeah,
John.
Just let me show it.
Wow.
52, hopeful 36, overwhelmed 33, excited 29. I have to admit, I thought you guys were going to be coming in a little hotter on some of those and maybe not as hot on some of the others, but Ramon with the 52.
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can
Oh.
I help you today?
Yeah, I'm going to play that later, but Ramon with the 52, was that just a desperation heave? Or
Yes, it was because even it forced me and you all peer pressure. You have to do it. You have to guess.
Okay, well, and look what happened. We peer pressured you, and you are right.
Wow.
Right.
I like what John said. You almost missed out on your blessing.
Yeah.
It's,
I
it's
don't
a
feel
good thing to
blessed.
get peer pressure. Good to be peer pressured into blessing.
Thank you, Leland. You're right. Thank you. I think we're y'all.
We
y'all-
wanna
we can
hear
move
your-
on.
We want to hear your voice.
Just out of curiosity, are you surprised at any of those numbers? All of those numbers? Some of those numbers?
Some of them.
Don't give a damn.
I didn't think it was going to be that high that we're excited.
So
I don't
29
like 30s. 30s and 20s annoy me. I like 60s
Yeah.
versus, it's too much in the middle. So
You
Very
like
middle.
conclusive.
yes,
Yes.
correct,
So the
Like-
52 is still only middling when you think about it.
correct. Yeah.
All right. Very interesting. All right. So I have a video to play, and I forget where this came from. But this came from Ivana. Ivana sent me a text message earlier this week. I'm gonna play the clip. I have one. I think I have something that really isn't about the directness of what this guy is talking about. But I'm gonna play this clip, or should I ask Ivana if you want to set up this clip because you're the one that sent it.
I forgot. I can't even remember.
play the
I know
clip.
I said, why don't you play the clip and then we'll
I'll
watch
play
it
the
all
clip
together.
and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Have access to is showing that consumer spending is falling across every major category except for this one. There's a big shift away from spending at major big box retailers and taking that money and spending with local small businesses. This is credible data that Wall Street hedge funds normally pay millions of dollars for. Here are 5 stocks that play a big role in powering local and small businesses that should benefit from this trend. The first company is Shopify, a platform that allows a lot of these businesses to sell online. Second stock is DoorDash. They've actually moved beyond food delivery now into delivering groceries and for local businesses. Third is Uber. They are helping a ton of local restaurants deliver. This is the 1-year chart, but this is the 5-year chart. Looks a lot better. The fourth stock is Mercado Libre. They offer fulfillment and logistics services for local businesses. The fifth and final is Toast. They provide point of sale and management systems for local restaurants. If there are any stocks I'm missing, please leave a comment and subscribe and share.
All right, enough. I want to give
Okay,
it
yeah.
that.
So I saw that, and when I saw that, I thought of this panel immediately because we talked last week about consumer confidence being down, but I thought it was real interesting that he was bringing up some larger companies that support small businesses. So I really wanted to hear what you guys had to say about it. That's why I shared it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look at it like this. We've all heard that, why do you go shop at Amazon? They're such a big company. They're such an evil company. They're taking up small businesses, but they're built from small businesses. Small businesses sell on Amazon. And so when you buy something from Amazon, unless it says Amazon.com, it's going to be from a small, maybe medium, maybe a large, maybe you're buying directly from Nike or some other big company, but there's a lot in there that you're just buying from a small company. And so a lot of these, and I remember it was like a couple of weeks ago, Ramon said, like, I think it was Ramon, someone
Probably.
said that if all of like the big companies were to just close their shops, small businesses wouldn't be too far behind, because a lot of them are supported by these big companies, whether it's within tech, whether it's in the ability to sell online or something like that. And that's kind of where I see when it comes to some of these big companies and supporting some of the big companies that support the small businesses.
Yeah, Leland, let me just try to help you. Let me just try to help you out, Leland. Let me just try to set the record straight, Leland, as I do so well in this show. No, but seriously. No, I guess my point is I'm just a firm believer that the market is tough. Life is brutal. We are in a constant war. So yes, I love small business, and this is my life's work for 20 plus years. But I guess and I know even your heart to it. Like, don't hurt the small business. But I'm one of those. I don't think Amazon is bad. Meaning, any of us could be it. You get what I'm trying to say? Meaning, this whole thing about let's support small business and let's have rules to carve out for small businesses. Let's have protected areas for them. Let's do handouts. I'm like, it is what it is. We're in a war. If I make a water bottle, and Ivana comes in and makes a better water bottle, or she markets better, or she crushes me, it is what it is. Life is not an even playing field for all. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm trying to say, Leland. So I'm just not one that's like, oh my God, Amazon's hurting small business. Next year, somebody will hurt Amazon. We're just, it's a market. It's a free market economy. May the best one win. Bottom line.
Whatever.
You know what? I'll tell you what was interesting. When they had Blackout Day last week, and there was a lot of content out there, and small businesses are hot, small businesses are popular, and when they were having Blackout Day, there was a lot of social content. There were a lot of messages going out there to go and support local businesses. Consumers typically want to support smaller businesses if they have a choice. I sent out an email to my list, and I was like, now is a good time to maybe send out an email to your customers, remind them that you're around, make an offer, that type of thing. There wasn't like a whole lot of engagement around that. And when I saw this little snippet of content, there is a trend out there that is where people want to buy from small businesses. But what I'm noticing, or I'm observing, that's all I'm going to say, so it's anecdotal, is I'm not seeing small businesses take advantage of that positive impression and that positive brand that people have, that positive outlook towards small businesses.
But Ivana, can I challenge that, Ivana?
Yeah, please.
Do you think it's one of those things where people say what they're saying, but don't really do what they say? I get it. It sounds very fuzzy and cute and nice. We support small businesses. We want to buy from small businesses. But I suspect when it comes to putting your dollars, you want convenience, efficiency, returns, guarantees. So I get it. So this thing of support, I get it. But if somebody's buying from me to support me, I will lose in the end to the person who they're buying from because they really like the service, trust the service, convenience. So I get it. And you're right. I know the stats. You're right. And it sounds right. But I don't know if people put their actions put their money where their actions is. They say in the survey.
You got to make it easy for them, right? So like COVID's a great reminder. And I haven't gotten emails from these people since. But like local restaurants created offers during COVID to make it really enticing and easy to support them. And now they don't do that anymore.
But I would say make it. And then Brent, tell me when to stop here. But I think I get. It's just that word support bothers me. Ivana, I think they made offers to make it easy for you to eat food because you were hungry and wanted to eat. The support, that word really gets me. I want to support the Red Cross. I want to support the Girl Scouts. But when a brand hires me to be a brand ambassador, they're not doing it to support me. They are grilling me. Can you provide a service that I need? That's all I'm trying to say.
Semantics, tomato. I just use support instead of buy from.
Okay, all right.
Ramon, can you turn down your audio just
a
little bit?
Absolutely. Testing 1, 2, 3. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T.
A little higher now.
A little higher.
Okay. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Small business breakdown.
Little higher.
Business breakdown. Small business breakdown.
All right,
Small.
That's good. Anybody else want to get on that one? I see you shaking your head, John. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're both They can both be right.
I don't like that. One of us needs to dominate the other.
Good Lord.
But I will say one thing that just going back to what Leland was talking about, you know, it doesn't have to say Amazon to be Amazon. Amazon owns probably 61 other small brand companies that look like small brands, but they're actually Amazon brands that are competing with those small brands, trying to look like they're a small brand and not Amazon. So,
Cool.
True.
Oh,
you
I
know,
feel like my thing was lost. My point was lost with this video.
what was the point?
The point is, the point is, small businesses have an opportunity to up their game. I
Yes.
am in agreement with Ramon. People aren't going to choose you because I am in total agreement with you, Ramon. You know, but you would be crazy to not ride this wave of
Yes.
positive brand support.
Sure.
And I am not seeing it. Is anyone seeing it? I used to hear complaints about big box stores. I used to, oh, we can't compete because I used to hear all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you can totally compete because you can do stuff they can't in a way they can't do it. So I'm seeing the tide and the wave turning towards them. And that's what that clip was about. But I'm not seeing anyone take advantage of it. That I want to hear what you guys have to say about that.
Yeah, the tide is definitely turning. I mean, you can look at any, you know, I know New Jersey still has malls,
Absolutely.
but the fact of the matter that malls are diminishing is part of the big brand, big box store leaving the building. Um, a lot of Gen Zs are looking for small brands and are abandoning even the Amazons of the world. So I do see that the tide is shifting towards more personalized experiences, more so than small brands. I think people are looking for a more personalized experience, and big box retailers oftentimes have a problem doing that at scale. And that's what I think we're seeing.
And John, let's remember that, you can be very successful and make money by being a smaller quote unquote niche player. As I go to some of my bougie areas and towns, names I don't know, like I'm making it up, Hypercross Fitness made it up. They could be making some good money serving their customers, premium product, doing all the things you said, John, and even, you know what I'm saying? So my point is, we just know and see the brands that have Super Bowl commercials, but there's millions of small companies, to even his point, all over the USA that are doing just fine, making 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 30 million a year. Maybe they were a family-owned business, and or one of these, I call it bougie, but high-end brands, premium, under the radar. Unless you're in that, unless you know it, unless we do this here, like Seth Godin says, people like us do things like this. So you can make good money by being niche. You don't have to be big box or be a big brand to succeed.
All right, so I'm gonna play the video one more time. It has absolutely nothing to do with this discussion. This is what I'll just play it and I'll show you why I was like, I'm not listening to this dude. Let's just play this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. No, I'm going to play the whole thing again. Here we go.
Okay.
Move and play again.
Have access to is showing that consumer spending is falling across every major category except for this one. There's a big shift away from spending at major big box retailers and taking that money and spending with local small businesses. This is credible data that Wall Street hedge funds normally pay millions of dollars for. Here are 5 stocks that play a big role in powering local and small businesses.
All right, I'm not even going to play the. Why are we supposed to trust what this guy says? Like, because I don't know who this guy is.
He looks like he's AI, but
wow.
What?
You might
does.
could.
I mean, it does look like an actual, AI clip.
He said that statement about the stats or the facts are showing this. Like, he hasn't stated a reference, a source, anything. So why the hell should we listen to anything this thing, person, AI? that's what really got my attention about this video. Is it looks funny. It doesn't sound like somebody that's really credible. He doesn't really give you any sources from where he's pulling these numbers from. Why are we supposed to listen to this? And that's what first came to mind when I saw this. And was I completely off base? Were you guys thinking, oh, this guy, he must know what he's talking about? Or am I just getting too skeptical because there's a lot of AI fake outs going on? And this felt like a fake out to me.
I didn't notice it, Brennan, until you just said it. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until you said it.
I didn't either. It just referenced the conversation that we had, and
so even if you didn't know this person before,
I get he's some type of financial advisor type guy, right? So I mean, he's in the industry, so
he's
maybe
a real
that's
person.
why he is a real person.
So he's
and
credible
he's
then.
in the
He's
industry.
credible.
I'm just saying
I don't know.
he's a financial
okay.
guy.
Ivana has said she follows him. She said he does financial something. He must be credible then. He has to be.
But you do make a good point. Maybe I didn't notice it only because I've seen some other stuff.
I'm
where
very
there's,
skeptical at this point, and I just,
as you should be. I think that's a great point that you brought up, Brent. I think that's an outstanding point, which is no matter what type of content that you're seeing, you need to dig deeper into it, and just to make sure that what you're looking at is legit.
no. The only reason I said that is because I'd never heard of that guy before. I don't follow him, but you do. So that's the only reason why I gave it credence, because even the Madam Mike drop sent me that link from Medina. She sent me that link, and so immediately my trust in her transferred over to me checking out this video. But then as I watched this video, I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
I was just curious if anybody else had that kind. John, you said you were thinking that or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's AI that do these,
Yeah.
But even if it
talking
was,
head videos.
but even if it is Brent and John, even if it is, I mean, what he said sounds pretty credible. He gave 5 stocks that support small businesses. I forgot what they were, but Shopify and let's say Etsy and others. I think the data point sounds.
Libre, Uber, no, DoorDash, and I forget the other. I mean, I did listen.
Yeah,
and because I'm curious about stocks and
I thought you guys were going to jump on all those different companies. When I saw Shopify, whatever, I thought, oh, John's going to have something to say about this, and Brent's going to have something to say about that. And,
no, he wasn't talking about how great they were. He was saying the trend is because they are kind of helping local folks get their stuff out there, which is logical. I'm not saying the thing was logical. It just didn't feel all that credible to me because I did not know this guy from a hole in the wall. He didn't have any real source. He said Wall Street folks are saying this. I'm like, what Wall Street folks are saying this? Give me some damn sources. That's all.
But there's no time to give you sources in a 30-minute clip, Brent. I think you're being a little too hard on the guy. I think you owe him an apology. In fact, really, I think you owe him an apology,
dude. Whoever you are, I have no idea what your name is. I apologize for nothing. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So I just thought that was interesting. And we're seeing more and more of this stuff. I mean, if you spend any time on YouTube, you see some really elaborate, well-told stories, and these are not real humans telling the story. Are you guys starting to feel a little, I don't know, if nervous or anxious or skeptical? But as more and more of this content comes out, do you have any feeling, or are you feeling any differently about how you go about taking in this kind of stuff?
I'm annoyed, Brent. It feels like there's so much work to do. Used to be, not to sound like a grizzled old person, which I'm sounding like I know this. Used to be, you pull out a newspaper, you read the newspaper, and you know that what's in the newspaper is correct because there's editorial guidelines, and it wouldn't be in the paper if it hadn't been checked 10 times over, right? Used to be, you'd watch the news, and they have editorial guidelines. There were rules about when you could say what you could say. And now it just feels like a lot of work to get the most basic information. Like I got to get out there and I got to search and I'm going to see, like, is this a credible source? And some of these people, I have to look them up 6 ways from Sunday to be like, are you a real person?
I didn't know that even. I didn't know that. Meaning, I should know it because I'm into, like, you know, as you said, I'm in the bubble, Brent. But I didn't know even. Like John saying this guy could be an AI fake.
And,
I didn't know it. I don't even. I don't know if I've ever seen it before.
You can make AI fakes of yourself.
Yeah, I didn't know it would be that good.
Amazing,
Meaning, I'm
right?
surprised
So
John said it could be. I didn't know it could be that good.
It very well could be.
Lots of rarely good stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, you can make them of yourself. You can make them of people who look like. I just played with an AI tool where I cloned my voice, but I don't like my voice. So you could kind of do, and when it creates that clone, it's you, but it's like makeup, right? It's almost like they put some type of audio on it. Yeah, so you know it's me, but it just like deeper.
It sounds perfect.
Better.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah, there's something about the studio sound that just sound, you know, because I want to sound like Ramon whenever I can.
The dulcet tones?
I want to have dulcet tones, yeah. Right. So you can't tell. You know, I think that there are things that says like AI generated. I've noted things if I've played with something and created content. I've actually said I've used like Notebook LM to create this, to synthesize this article so that you can enjoy it while doing something else, right?
And do you feel disclosing it is important, Ivana? Just curious. Do you feel disclosing it is important?
Yeah, sometimes, right?
Okay.
I don't want people to think it's me if it's not me.
Got it.
Right. While at the same time, I don't disclose, like if I used an AI tool to create, I don't know, to create an outline for a piece of content, because I feel like that's a calculator.
Yeah.
That's like saying I used a calculator to do
Sure.
this. I used a computer to type this up.
Yeah, but Ivana, so if you have your own Ivana Matamike language, well, not large language, let's say a small language model, it's all of you. Like you poured all your writings, your recordings, your tweet chats, all the stuff that you have generated, you poured it into an LLM. Technically, it's you. It's, let's say,
Correct.
None of that. So if you are the one creating something with an LLM that's based completely on you, even if you know you didn't say the words, the machine learning and the LLM comes together and says, this is basically what Ivana would say and how she would say it and when she would say it. That's the output. Are you saying that even with all that being the case, you would still feel a need to say, this wasn't me, because kind of it is you?
I know it is. It's so, for example, I use it's like my intention, right? So let's say, for example, I happen to use Notebook LM to synthesize and summarize like my content. Like, let's say I have an article and a YouTube video and some like survey research that I've conducted or something, and I can put that into Notebook LM, and they will like have a conversation about it. It's two people talking. Like, there are millions of people using Notebook LM. You are gonna know that it is not me, but I feel like I have to tell you that, hey, this is just my content synthesized into a podcast so that you can listen to it and be doing something else. I actually say that because that is the intention.
But what if you had you're using the tools that actually take your image?
Yes, I know.
And your voice.
You would know. I have tried, and it is so stilted and bad.
But let's say it gets to a point where it's not stilted and it's not bad. It fools you.
Right. If it's my content, I would feel okay. I do feel okay if it is my content. But let's say if I took Ramon's thing, right, and integrated into this conversation or whatever.
Well, that's different, though.
It would be quoted. It would be sourced. It would be whatever.
No.
But I wouldn't. But let's go take it a step deeper. If there's a lot of video with Ramon in it, with his voice and his likeness, so I could have an interview with Ramon, perhaps, that Ramon might not have done.
All right, so let's say this: you do something like that, you would get approval from Ramon before you put it out there.
I absolutely would do that, right? You would want to get approval in the same way that I would want to schedule time with him. So, like, work has to be done, right? Or he would have to review it, or he would have to, using somebody else's likeness. That just gets into legal stuff. I don't know, Ramon. Imagine that, how in the past we've done webinars and we get on a screen together and we're doing it and you're in total control. But what if we didn't have to do that anymore? What if I were to take some of your content and somehow integrate it into something? What would be your expectations?
Well, now that I'm thinking about this, I do think, going back to your original point, Ivana, I think some disclosure is good. I'm just realizing it because I'm watching you, and it's your digital twin. Even something soft, like, hey, everybody, this is Ivana. I'm her digital twin. Today we're going to talk about all things SEO. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud, if you had a whole series and it was your digital twin, and it wasn't you, it was AI, I'd feel a bit, all those 20 videos I watched of the podcast was AI. Not that it made a difference because it was you, authentic, it was powered by you, but it just feels weird about it. It's kind of like rocking a baby with a mechanical robot hand. End result's the same, but I don't know. It's just something. It goes. I think it goes into ethics and trust.
This is a conversation that is so old, people. It's funny.
Yeah,
Well,
I want to hear this because I haven't seen a John bot out there talking on your behalf.
Yeah,
because I know you want it to be
ready.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When it is ready, where's the line? If it's even as
here's
information, if it's even as data, if she's the one training it, and the video and the audio sounds looks right, does she have to do that?
Very clear and very. I might rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, for sure.
You might.
If you go back to 1980s, 90s, we would point at somebody and be like, those breasts ain't real. Today, we don't do that. It's become the norm. The lips, the hair, the makeup, all of it, everything. We get used to everything. And now we don't be like, hey, they're just a faker. You're just a total fake. I remember when, Kim Kardashian was like the weirdest looking thing on the planet with the biggest butt ever. And people be like, now everybody got a big butt. And so we're not even saying anything about it. I mean, this is just the way things happen. So right now we're in the phase, yes, where Michael Jackson changed his nose. I get it. And we're all pointing. But at some point, everybody's going to have the damn nose. Everybody's going to have an AI version of themselves.
And you think, John, that can be no disclosure? Meaning, you get me and Brent can go to Oracle NetSuite's event, seeing who's the guy there, the head, Evan Goldberg. And you're saying in 10 years, 5 years, maybe, am I hearing you right, that today they should disclose it? But you're saying Evan Goldberg can have a whole series of videos. Evan Gold, we're all about Oracle NetSuite. And at some point, no need to disclose it. As long as they vetted it and it's real content, good.
No need to disclose it.
That's what I was asking.
Because it's going to be such the norm.
Yeah, I understand, but it just
that hasn't happened yet. This is not an old
be,
conversation. This hasn't happened yet. How can it be an old conversation?
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's old in terms of this is how we start, and then here's where we end up.
Yeah,
it's going to be. What's going to happen is you're going to flip it, and we're going to say, "Hey, this is really me." That's going to be the actual way.
Oh, wow.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you have all the things working properly, like we want to see it looking like us. You want to see it sounding like us. You want to see it thinking like us. If it ever gets it, I'm sure it will to a certain extent. Get to that point, then is it us?
Oh, that's it. But that goes back to ethics.
That's a different question. Is it us?
No, it's a related question.
There's been so many movies that have kind of explored that concept, and I really see a future where us is going to be a hybrid of both things anyway.
John, let me ask you a follow. Go ahead, Brent.
No, I was going to say, so if I think Ramon, you said digital twin, because that's technically, I guess, what we're talking about. So are you going to be responsible for what your digital twin does? since it's doing it basically
yeah.
on your behalf?
It won't
has
do
to
it. It won't do it. It won't do it autonomously unless you allow it to.
Or it gets to a point where it allows it to do it itself because it does.
Or
become autonomous.
maybe we get blockchain technology involved, because I am noodling on the fact of someone using your likeness and your voice because it's available to have it participate in activities that they may or may not approve of.
Well, the
Yeah,
approval part, I think the legal part of that. Go ahead, Leland. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leland.
Well, I was going to say that's happening now. I mean, there's there are sites. I mean, they're in the news where it's like you got some famous actress doing something that's not supposed to, not appropriate, or to the YouTube channel that has, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Trump, and Mr. Beast talking about whatever random topic, and just shooting, telling jokes and stuff like that. I mean, it's already happening, and yeah, it's getting a lot of fire right now. And I would love to see like a blockchain or something like that could, centralize your likeness, so that if all of a sudden, and you could sit there and say, these channels are only able to use my likeness, and then Google can sit there and say, hey, I noticed this pattern. This looks like you, but it's on this channel. And so I could immediately kind of nix it.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. I really do. I think that's a thing that you would either be notified, you could literally, you got to be able to control your likeness.
John, let me ask you one more question. You already said it, John, but I want to push you on this and get your opinion of this, because I now I'm not sure. I do a live show, 7 a.m. Millions and millions and millions of people watch it one day. It's a top-rated show in the entire world one day, called The Rundown with Ramon. You're saying eventually I could do that show, AI-powered, me not be here doing that, people doing the comments, and the AI is saying, thanks, oh, Becky, great. All that, the whole show I do, millions are watching it one day. And that's no problem with you. I don't have to disclose it. Meaning, hey, everybody, welcome to The Rundown with Ramon. I just wanted, is that what I'm hearing you say, that no need to disclose it at some point in the future? Or even now you're saying AI, the whole show can just be done.
It's up to you if you want to disclose it right now.
No, but your thoughts.
I would, it depends. I don't, it's like, I already know if I'm doing so, like somebody wrote the other day. I put a story up. They're like, that's written with AI. I'm like, yeah, duh. I teach AI. Do I need to get into this with you? No. Who gives a shit? That's the way you feel. I don't care. It doesn't bother me that you feel that way, even though every book that's written by any professional person was written by somebody else. But nobody reveals that part. Why? Yeah. Because they don't have to. I remember back I keep going back in the day, but they used to put the show on, and then before the show would start, they would say, this is a replay of a previous live broadcast. Now they don't do that. They just run the replays. I mean, it's just, we're going to get used to this new environment. It's going to be the water we swim in.
I think we're going to get sick of the new environment.
Possibly, but here's the thing. You're not even going to be watching your damn show. My AI is going to be watching your show and giving me the cliff notes on it. And
what are we going to do
then?
talking
to you.
Where are we going to go?
We're going to Bahamas. We already established that.
Wow. All right, let's do a shout out to Ian Gertler, because he's dropping a lot of interesting comments. Let me go back to this kind of long one.
Thank you, Ian.
I think a big part of the equation is to have AI be a collaborative starting point, like brainstorming with team members or industry colleagues. Then you use it as a raw material versus finished product. But if you take it all and use it directly, disclosures should be made for attribution. That's actually a good way to parse things a bit, because I think it was you, even you mix and match. You bring in things and then you hopefully make something new or interesting from it, taking the whole thing and then basically repackaging somebody else's whole thing. That's messed up. But aren't we all kind of guilty of seeing something, just, I like this little piece here. Oh, I like this little nugget over here. What can I make from that? What can I kind of distill from that? And then that becomes my piece of the puzzle. I don't think we'll ever get away from that, but I think it's dead wrong to take Ramon's face and voice and thoughts. And I mean, it's really wrong.
I mean,
You
it's
don't want
about
to do this. No.
it's about in my book. I agree with. I love what John was saying. You know, one day we'll be like notifying people that yes, this is me. But I think the way I look at it, I've been trying to put words to it. The way I look at it is, in what ways, what do I need to disclose to be of service to my audience? Right. So I happen to disclose because I'm using Notebook LM. I don't want anyone to have ideas that, hey, you know, this isn't her or whatever. I literally say, I want you to, this is for you to listen to, right? It's engaging. You can listen to it while you're doing something else, consume content while multitasking.
You know why it's not that big a deal with Notebook LM? Because everybody uses it and you get the same damn two people saying it.
Exactly. It's just so
annoying.
obvious, right?
For now.
Yeah,
For now.
It's
But I
still
think
annoying.
the intention is, like, let's say that I had talked to Ramon and I said, hey, Ramon, I want to create a conversation between you and I on such and such a topic. I'm going to be using this, this, and this. Ramon's like, I'm traveling. I'm out in the Bahamas sitting on the beach with my family. And I will not be able to record this with you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to create this. I'm going to use your AI. You know, I feel that I do need to disclose something like that for the benefit of my audience, right? They need to know Ramon has a brand of being on stage and being a certain way. And I think that if his likeness and tone and style is used with an AI, no matter how great it is, I need to tell people, like John was saying, this was pre-recorded, right? This isn't live. This was pre-recorded. And now the next level is that this is Ramon's content, but like people, it's not really Ramon. We were not online together.
Especially if at the same time you're putting this on, Ramon is like getting live streamed at some event. I'm like, wait, well, I thought he was, you know.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
gotta be
I mean,
kinda
it's
careful about
it's integrity for me, and I think about my audience and what would serve that audience. That's the rubric that I happen to use. That is the guideline that I happen to use.
I love
What is-
rubric.
You like that?
Yeah.
What does my audience need to know? That's how
Makes
I
a
look
great
at
movie.
it. Sometimes they don't need to know, to John's point. I work with AI. I teach people to do AI. They don't need to know, like, duh, right? But other times I do think it's important that they know.
All right, let's take it up just a notch, just a little notch. All right, so, and I think this also came from Shashi. He pointed me to something around like creative agencies using AI. Should they charge additional for using AI to get their work done versus, I guess, what they would normally charge without using AI? Basically, and I'll throw my thought out and then let you guys go for it. It's like, if you're doing the same damn job with or without AI, why should the change in cost or price? Why should there be a change in price? Are you giving me some additional benefit? Are you giving me some additional efficiency? If you're not, then I don't care what you use to get the job done. The price should be the same. What do you guys say?
Here's the thing, Brent. I think that I get your point, but I do think that, I guess, now as the customer, I know that the video 20 years ago took you 10 hours and 10 staff members to get done, like Pixar. I know that. So I'm paying you accordingly. It's all in the marketplace. But now today I know it's taking you two girls with a cat, and you did it in an hour. I'm simply going to push back and say, I like your thought. I like your being our agency. We outsource it to you, but we can now do this ourselves. We'll just hire two people. It'll be imperfect, but we'll do better. So I think I get your point. You can hold to that, but I think it's just like speaking. Some speakers, stick to your fee. It's $25,000 your rate. Please, nobody sticks to their rate. Everything is negotiable. So
no. So I explain myself. I wasn't saying that if they keep their price the same,
right?
And as long as the price doesn't change, I'm still paying for the end result. That's what I'm basically.
But I'm saying I'm pushing back.
So you're not paying for the end result. You're paying for the process and the end result.
No, I'm paying for the end result. But now as a customer, I know before it was a what do you call it? It was a reasonable rate to pay for this because what it cost and all those things. But now that I know, as evolution goes on,
so you want a refund or you want a discount. or
Yeah,
you're
I
walking
would
away?
push back. Or
Okay.
meaning depends on what it was. But in your example, like agencies, let's say I had copywriters. There's a good example. And I know that you have 10 copywriters for my project and you pay them $50 an hour, $100 an hour. I get it. And you need to make a profit. No problem. But now as we evolve, and I know you're doing that same thing with one person and you're pumping out 50 articles a day, there's no reason. I don't see the reason, the competitive reason for me to still pay you that exorbitant fee.
So it doesn't matter that you like had this great relationship before. They do immaculate work. They provide a great experience. Now that you know they're using AI and it cuts, and I guess it cuts their
It's a
time
conversation.
down. Then you're saying, all right, I think we need to revisit this pricing.
Yes. And only because, and again, others jump in, but only because, Brent, now I'm leaning towards saying we can start to do some of this ourselves. That's the choice you have. That's
Okay.
all this technology brings it closer. And we're all writers, you're publishers, right? So you get what I'm saying. John, his book came out, right? Or even a hiring. We know what it's like. Leland's hired 50 people back in the day. But now he has a choice. Hey, I can do a lot of this myself or do it with one person. I was talking to somebody I know, somebody who bought smallbiztechnology.com. He was telling me, Ramon, I'm using 2 people and making X dollars to do what I was doing 10 years ago. It's a game-changing shift.
Let me just ask one follow-up, and then we'll open it up to everybody.
You don't have to open it up, Brent. You and I are doing fine. You don't have to open this. I mean, this is
No,
our time. This is our time.
I need to ask just one follow-up.
Yes.
So has a vendor come to you and say, well, we know it doesn't take you as long to get yourself ready to speak at a conference anymore. Are you bringing down your fees for speaking because we know you're using AI to get prepared?
Great question. The experience I'm giving them, that is a whole different game, in my opinion. Meaning me speaking from stage, going in the audience, that is something that's no difference, if it makes sense. If it wasn't me there, or the delivery was different, sure, but I think that's a different point about speaking. That's an experience.
But
that's
even though
just
it might
way
take
different.
you less time to get prepared, and
because they can't do it.
Presentation.
Yep. They can't do it. They can't say, Ramon, you know what? We'll just get Becky to do it. There is never going to be anyone else on stage like Ramon. That's the part that's not placeable. But I can replace a copywriter, a graphics artist, any programmers, all that, what do you call it, knowledge worker stuff. AI can do faster and cheaper. So that's why me speaking, they can't get somebody else on stage. Even John Lawson. I mean, he's a great speaker, but he ain't Ramon. I mean, that's just it.
Okay, I'm opening this up to whoever wants to.
Well, you know what? I kind of agree and disagree. I think there is the market runs on supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the demand outweighs the supply, then prices go up.
That's right.
And the inverse happens and makes prices go down. And I believe we're going to be in a market now where the inverse is happening, where all the things we thought took a lot of time to produce and only certain people could do it is going away. And so I don't see AI as something that you're going to make it a premium. I think AI is going to drop the price of a lot of services. So
that's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
I don't see how that works, but good luck. Whoever can do it, go for it. But your window of opportunity is short.
I think there are going to be folks who might be able to get away with it because the emphasis is going to go away from doing the same thing more efficiently and with less resources to doing things you've never been able to do before. We've never been able to do before. And now we'll be able to charge you because now we can do this.
That's different. That's an add-on.
That's what AI should be getting us to, not just efficiencies and taking something that we already do from 10 hours to 1 hour, but taking things we've never been able to do.
People aren't going to pay for it. I'm just telling you.
They're not, because look at us. I had a client prior to the internet boom. So there was internet, but there was no video conferencing. There were no webinars. That was not a thing. And their business was having conference rooms so that big companies and law firms could have a video conference. And they charged huge money for that. Right. Yep. So you can come in and they had to be open at all hours because you had to come in and you were talking to Japan or China or like someone across the world. Right. And now here we are. Just chitty chatting for nothing in our home space. Right. So this was something we could never do The technology gave us something we could never do, and we are paying less for it.
Although
However-
StreamYard basically doubled their price.
Yeah, but however, here's the factor we're not taking in is that we're at hyper speed. So before you could open this kind of place and people would come for a period of time, because they had a window of opportunity where they were going to take advantage of having the best tech, but that's not the case anymore. And that's what you're seeing right now with OpenAI. And that's why DeepSeek was such a big market upset, is because all of a sudden what we thought we had some kind of time and some kind of moat, it's just going to evaporate. So everything you're putting together today and be like, hey, this is AI and I'm going to teach, you only got a small window, because tomorrow it's going to be completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. It's going, and and I just thought about, we're going to go from Pong to PlayStation 6 in months.
Why stop at
took us
PlayStation 6?
decades to do.
I think you're right, but look what Apple just came out with their latest Mac Studio, and now you can literally buy yourself a LLM data cruncher AI machine that can have up to 512 gigabytes of memory, and that's both CPU and GPU, and 16 terabytes of data in a box this big that can do all the LLM processing that you needed to do, and it'll cost you now. To some people, it's still a lot of money. To me, it's still a lot of money. Like it could go. I think the high end is 14 grand. But could you imagine what that would have cost like just 5 years ago?
What's it going to cost in two?
It'll probably be at least half that by then, maybe even less than that. But that's why now is the time to actually start really understanding. You don't have to go to the certain links, but you do have to understand like the ins and outs of this stuff as a small business person. All right, we're running kind of close to the end. I'm going to play this video. Kind of fits in with some of the stuff we're talking about of two AI agents talking with each other.
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
Okay, are we going somewhere with this? Okay, I'm about to say.
Yeah, we're going
it's
all.
driving me crazy.
But what happens when that is actually sounding and looking like all the things we just talked about?
That's not that far. Matter of fact, I just saw a screen capture where somebody found a Google page link or my Google page link that had an AI agent field on it, and I went back to look for it and couldn't find it.
I'll add this, and I just got back from Salesforce.
AI agents are going to be talking to each other.
I just got back from Salesforce, the TDX conference. It's their developer conference, and I literally did a consultation where they walked me through building an AI, an agent force agent that I was actually able to speak to this tool that let me kind of walk through building my own agent, where it allows me to. I called it my thought leadership expansion agent. It allows me to take my podcasts and on my writings and optimize them to go to all these different channels with because they have all the LLMs and they work with all the public LLMs and they have their own LLM and they have the CRM data. So it takes all these data inputs and allows me to just have a literal conversation, building my own agent. Got an email saying your agent is ready to deploy. And of course, this is all like, not really ready for prime time, but this is where it's going. It'll be generally available within the next couple of months. So it's getting easier and easier all the time to do this kind of stuff. And I guess maybe all of us are wondering how small businesses are going to get access and going to be able to use this and know what they're doing with this. Because I think the biggest obstacle is knowing what to do with this stuff more than actually putting it together at this point. So
I imagine that businesses will come out with solutions for small businesses. It's just inevitably going to happen. Back to the last example, when we're talking about like AI and tools for replacing marketing, that kind of happened. I mean, back 15 years ago when I first started out, they were paying $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 for a website, just for a website. Then Wix came along. And some of these other Wix-esque type, GoDaddy did it. And now for $10 a month, you could have yourself a website that you could build yourself and not pay $8,000 for. And so inevitably, there's going to be the Wix of these AI agents, to where it's just going to be very simple, very easy, walks you through it, simple tutorials, very easy for a small business owner to just go in, create their agent, and then make it live, and then it's done. You don't have to go through an agent. You don't have to go through Salesforce and get the really expensive package. You're going to get the $10 Wix version that's just good enough for the small business owner and simple enough that they can do it themselves.
Leland, did you see the announcement from JotForm? I was interviewing Adekin, of JotForm, and they announced that just 2 weeks ago. AI agents using forms. You can go in there, and I'm sure QuickBooks and others are going to. So I'm affirming yes, but JotForm is like, hey, we got thousands of agents, customer service agent, time management agent, task, the discrete agents, and bundled with their form, and you get the form, and your customers can chat with it, just plug and play. So to your point, companies like JotForm, billion-dollar valuations, are doing exactly what you're saying. So
yeah, they're all going to be doing it because the technology is here and it's cheap. It's cheap. They're building these things on open source stuff. They're not paying, the big LLMs anymore. This is the game. As I'm telling you, this year and next year, it's just going to keep going faster, and it's I don't know how we're going to keep up.
Oh, we're not. Not everybody's going to be able to keep up. Yeah. I mean, that's just, it's always the case. It's really, when you think about it, through all the decades of tech, it's usually a few at the top that really maximize their opportunity to make money off of this stuff. Then there's this huge kind of middle section of folks that are basically, making a nice little living. They're not hurting. And then the masses of the folks are the ones that get left behind. They still don't, even as this stuff gets more expensive and even more accessible, somewhere along the line, you still need to have a good understanding of what you're trying to do and be able to at least work your way through getting certain things done. I don't know where that leaves the masses of folks, but I'm not worried about the folks at the top. I'm not even worried about the folks kind of in the meaty middle. It's always the folks at the bottom that never are fast enough to keep up. And they keep falling further and further behind. Anyway, I'm not going to get on my soapbox anymore.
Which is life, which is what we talked about kind of earlier, Brent, which is life. There's the haves and have-nots, and that is life.
It's an unfortunate truth. I don't know if that's still an acceptable truth, but it is a truth, and it's kind of hard to fight that. I wish there's a good way to do it, but I don't know. Anyway, final thoughts for the week. Let's go to Ramon.
Sure. I think one thing I would say is, besides just live your best life and be a good person, leverage the power of your executive assistant, your EA. People use the word virtual assistant, which I don't like, but your outsourced talent, and invest in them to learn all these things. You should know it too, but you have one or two aces on your team that you can say, hey, you learn this stuff and use it for my business, you'll be better off.
The cold one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have a whole lot of wisdom to
we know that, but what do you think?
Look, if you're still on the fence, and you're still feeling, God. Anyway, we'll talk about that later on. But if you're still on the fence, guys, about this AI thing, it's not an AI thing. It is reality. Do it, learn it. Don't get left behind because it's going to happen so fast that it's going to be almost impossible to catch up. It's like you're going to be dragged out to sea with a wave. Just take it and go.
Take it and go. Way to go. All right, Leland.
I would just say challenge yourself to learn something new once a week, once every other week, once a month. Set it at whatever interval you want and whatever your time allows. And then just say, okay, I want to learn a little bit more about, just AI or AI agents or this aspect. And you will be surprised at how much, when you're learning, you can apply it to whatever you're doing and potentially save yourself time, money, effort.
Last and certainly not least, all the way from Medina, Madam Mic Drop.
You scare me, Brent. But I think one of the things I've been reflecting on is speed, and we've been talking about the speed of technology and the speed of adapting and so on and so forth, and AI. And I think what we haven't talked about is your ability to speed up how you serve your customer and your connection with your customer, because everyone's life is changing. So with the speed of technology and AI, what you need to know more than anything is what your customer wants so you can give it to them. That's going to help you stay with the AI, because you can't learn it all. That's not going to happen. You simply have to focus. And so if you can get really good at adapting with your customer, the technology stuff will be there to support you.
I have to commend Madam Mic Drop because every one of her final thoughts always addresses the relationship a company, a small business has with its customers. You do it every week, and it's such a good. I don't know if you plan to do it or if it just comes naturally that you keep continually focusing on the relationship between the business and the customer. But I appreciate it because I think if more people thought like that, they would have a better opportunity to be successful in business because they have the relationship first and foremost in their thought, as opposed to how do I make money off of people. You can make a lot of money if you have your approach versus if you go into a relationship at a very transactional nature. People can see that, people can understand that, and people do not like being treated for a dollar sign. So I really appreciate the way that you always continually focus on what you can do to better engage with customers.
Because every week, see, it's Friday. And by the time I get to Friday from Monday, I have spoken to a handful of business owners small business owners who will do anything under the sun to not talk to their customers. They would rather spend $5,000 on postcards. They'd rather spend $10,000 on a website. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's free, people.
All right. That was 2 mic drops in one day. All right. And shout out to Ryan. I know that's your boy, Mr. Lawson. Yeah. Well said, everyone. G's. We got a G's. That's the first G's we've ever had on this show. Ryan, thank you so much. And hopefully you'll be around at 5 o'clock because I got to school your boy. It's Friday, it's 5 o'clock. So that's got to happen. Anyway,
where do people find you and Brian and John at? On your channels, Brent? Talk about it, show a little bit. Give yourself a promo if you don't mind.
I'll let the cold one, because it's usually his group of people that.
Oh, so you school him in front of his people.
Right. That's exactly. So that that never happened.
They need it.
But you can always check both of our Facebook page and our what's that, LinkedIn?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that link.
I don't know where I saw you guys. I don't know if it was Facebook or LinkedIn, but I happen to be. I'm not going to be home today. I will miss you today because I'm generally not available.
But
I was.
You're
and I was
busy
so
person.
happy to see you.
she's busy dropping mics all over the damn place. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, we hope you have a great weekend, a great week, and we will see you next Friday. Later.